When we think of great men of God, certain names come to mind. Men like St. Francis of Assisi, St. Padre Pio, or even St. John Paul II. But today I want to introduce you to a man whose name is not as well known, but whose life was one of incredible power, holiness, and peace. This man was none other than Pope Leo the Great. And if you want to know more about this amazing pope, stay tuned because that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we begin, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of our videos. Also, give us a thumbs up so you help us continue spreading the message of the gospel. It is said that the hallmark of great leaders is their ability to rise to the occasion. History is replete with examples of men who seized the moment and led their people to greatness. In times of crisis, they stepped up to the plate and delivered when it mattered most. Such was the case with Pope Leo Magno, who during his papacy, which lasted from 440 to 461 AD, guided the Church through some of the most turbulent times in its history. Much of what we know about him comes from the writings of his contemporary, Saint Vincent of Lerins, as well as from the records of the Roman Church. While little is known of his early life, we do know that he was born in Tuscany, Italy around the year 390. He was the son of a Roman senator, which gave him access to the highest levels of political power. However, Leo had other plans. Rather than following in his father's footsteps, he chose to devote his life to the service of the Lord. After studying in Rome and Milan, Leo entered the priesthood and was eventually appointed to the influential position of papal subdeacon under Pope Celestine I. When Celestine died in 432, Leo was elected pope at the Lateran Palace. Despite his young age, Leo proved to be a capable leader. He tackled the tough issues head-on and was not afraid to speak his mind, even when it meant going against the grain. For example, he famously rebuked Emperor Valentinian III for his decision to marry a pagan woman. In a letter, Leo told the emperor that he could not remain silent when the health of the entire Christian commonwealth was in danger. Ultimately, Leo's words won out, and the wedding was called off. In addition to his political acumen, Leo was also a gifted preacher and writer. His sermons and letters are filled with powerful messages about the importance of faith, hope, and love. He wrote extensively on topics such as the Trinity, original sin, and the Eucharist, and his writings helped to shape the core Christological doctrine that would be debated at the Council of Chalcedon in 451. Through his preaching and writing, Leo was able to inspire and encourage Christians all over the empire. However, perhaps Leo's greatest legacy is his defense of the Catholic Church against the forces that threatened it during his papacy. At the height of the Huns' power, their leader, Attila the Hun, set his sights on sacking Rome. With the imperial army too weak to stop them, the city's inhabitants were terrified, but Leo refused to flee. Instead, he assembled a delegation and met Attila face to face. The result was a dramatic confrontation between Christianity and paganism, between faith and superstition, between civilization and barbarism. Leo's courage in the face of such a formidable opponent was truly remarkable, and his success in turning Attila back has earned him the title of Hunk Stopper. Leo's story is one of courage, faith, and leadership. In a time of great upheaval and change, he was able to keep the Church focused on its mission and its teachings. Through his example, he showed Christians everywhere how to stand up for their beliefs and values, no matter how difficult the circumstances may seem. His life and legacy continue to inspire people today, and we are all the better for it. Some say he was born in Rome, and others say he was born in Tuscany. What we do know is that his birth year was 390 AD. As a young man, he studied rhetoric and philosophy, becoming an eloquent preacher. He then entered the priesthood, where he continued to hone his skills until he was appointed papal subdeacon under Pope Celestine I. When Celestine died, Leo was elected pope at the Lateran Palace. During his papacy, he faced many challenges, including attacks from Germanic tribes, internal church disputes, and opposition from the Arian heresy. However, he successfully defended the Church's teachings on Christology and the supremacy of the Pope. Leo's papacy was also marked by his efforts to reform the clergy and improve the lives of the poor and sick. He founded hospitals and schools and worked to restore order in the Western Empire. But perhaps his greatest achievement was his successful defense of Rome against Attila the Hun. In 452 AD, Attila and his army arrived outside the city gates demanding tribute. Leo met him at the bridge to negotiate and is said to have persuaded him to spare Rome after learning of his impending death. Leo's impact on the church was profound. He is considered one of the 4 great papal doctors of the Universal Church, along with St. Ambrose, St. Augustine, and St. Thomas Aquinas. His teachings on the Trinity, original sin, and the sacraments are foundational to Catholic theology. Moreover, he is revered as a champion of peace and unity, having successfully mediated numerous disputes between bishops and emperors. After a reign of 21 years, Leo died on July 10, 461 AD. He was buried in St. Peter's Basilica and was canonized by Pope Gregory the Great in the 6th century. As we can see, the story of Pope Leo the Great is one of immense importance for the Christian faith. His contributions to theology, his commitment to social justice, and his courage in defending the Church against external threats were nothing short of heroic. We can learn much from this great pope, especially in these times when the Church faces new and unprecedented challenges. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a comment and tell us what you thought. We value your feedback and want to hear what you have to say. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and share our videos with your friends and family. Your support helps us continue spreading the message of the gospel, and we thank you for your generosity. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, Jesus loves you.